Hi, second graders, Miss Gruby is here. Today we're going to talk about text and graphic features. Authors include these to help organize the text and make important information stand out to readers. Here is your assignment for today. This is our graphic sources worksheet. The directions on this say to use your assigned material and fill out the information below. Describe or draw the graphic feature and explain its purpose in helping you understand more about the text. Now, before I tell you more about this assignment, we're going to talk about more graphic features. The first feature we're going to talk about is called a table of contents. A table of contents lists the major chapters or parts of the book with their page numbers. An important thing to know about a table of contents is it's usually at the beginning of a book. Remember, it tells you the chapter titles or sections with the page number that they will be on. The next feature we're going to talk about is called a heading. A heading is a few words that tell what a paragraph, section, or chapter will be about. I like to think of headings as mini titles. And remember, all of these headings in your book can be found on your table of contents. The next feature we're going to talk about is called a photograph. A photograph is a picture that adds information or helps explain the text. These are super helpful because in nonfiction books, authors will usually explain a lot of information, and it's really helpful for the reader to be able to see what the author is talking about. Our next feature goes right along with photographs because they are captions. Captions are words below, beside, or on the picture telling you about the picture. So this is a caption because it's telling me exactly what's happening in this picture. An important thing to know about captions is that they are sentences, not single words. If you see a single word on a picture, it's most likely a label. Labels are words or phrases that describe certain parts of a picture. You will usually know it's a label if you see an arrow like this. So remember, labels and captions can be a little bit tricky because they both belong on pictures, but an important thing to remember is that captions are sentences that tell what's happening in the picture. Labels are usually single words. And these single words usually point to part of the picture. The next text feature we're going to talk about is called an index. An index is located in the back of a book. It tells the page number that certain words can be found on. This text feature can sometimes be a little bit tricky because it looks a lot like the table of contents. Remember that the table of contents has all of the chapters or parts of the book and the page numbers that they will be on. A table of contents is at the beginning of a book. The index is at the back of a book and it does not have chapter titles. It just has individual words and what page they could be on. Now I want you to notice right here next to animal, it says that it is on page 2, 13, and 14. That means that the word animal got mentioned more than one time in the book. This is another way to tell if you're on an index or a table of contents. Typically, an index will not have more than one page number listed, as you can see here. Just like the index, the next text feature that we're going to talk about is also located at the back of a book. This text feature is called a glossary. I like to think of glossaries as mini dictionaries, and remember, they are in the back of a book. A glossary is a list of important words from the book with their meanings. The words are usually organized in ABC order, and they will have their definition right next to them. That's why I think that they're kind of like mini dictionaries. The next text feature we're going to talk about is kind of related to a glossary. This text feature is called bold print. Bold print is print that is darker than the surrounding words to show importance. As you can see, this word hives is standing out to show that it's an important word. The reason why I said these are kind of related to glossaries is because these important bold words can usually be found in the glossary. See, hive was right here in the glossary. If I didn't know what a hive was while I was reading, I could turn to the glossary and see that it is a place where bees live and work. So remember, all of the text features that we talked about today are table of contents, heading, photographs, captions, labels, index, glossary, and bold print. Now that we've learned a little bit more about text and graphic features, let's go back to your worksheet. The directions say to use an assigned material. The materials you guys are going to use are located on GetEpic. If you search National Geographic Readers, a long list of books will come up. You can pick any of these books to do this assignment with. I'm going to pick this one called Dolphins. So the title of my book is Dolphins. This next section asks for the main idea, but since I haven't read the book yet, I'm not sure what to put there. Remember, when you're done reading the book, the main idea is what the text was mostly about. And it should be more than one word. My main idea cannot just be dolphins. I want to think, what did the author want me to know about dolphins? Okay, now that we've talked about this top part, we are going to try to fill out the feature and purpose section of the worksheet. So as I'm reading my book about dolphins, I'm going to keep my eyes open for those text features that we talked about earlier, and I want to think, why did the author put this in the book? All right, let's get reading. Right away, I can see there's a text feature. It's even labeled Table of Contents. If you remember from earlier, a table of contents tells me about all the sections I will read about and what page they will be on. So I can go ahead and write about that on my worksheet. The directions also say that you could draw your text feature as well, but since I'm on a computer, I'm just going to write, it was a table of contents. You could also challenge yourself and put what page number you found your features on. I'm going to go back and see, what page was that on? Oh look, it's missing the page number, but sometimes if I just flip to the next page, I can see if this page was 5, the one next to it must have been 4, and the page before that must have been 3. So my table of contents was on page 3. Now the purpose is why the author included it. The author added a table of contents so the reader would know what sections are in the book and what pages the sections can be found on. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller so that it fits in there nicer. There we go. All right, now let's keep looking for more of those text features in my book.
It's a dolphin. What swims in the water but isn't a fish? What whistles and chirps but isn't a bird? What loves to jump but isn't a frog? It's a dolphin.
Can you see any text features on this page? I want you to think, what is this called? It kind of looks like a title. This is a heading. And this right here is a photograph of dolphins.
Fish or mammal? A dolphin is a mammal, just like you. A dolphin's body temperature is always about 97 degrees Fahrenheit. Dolphins have lungs and breathe air. They get oxygen through a hole on top of their heads. Their tails move up and down. They have soft, smooth skin. Dolphins look like fish, but they are different in some very important ways. A fish's body temperature matches the temperature of the water it's in.
Do you see any text features on this page? I do. This is called a heading. I think I'm going to write about this one. The heading says fish or mammal, and it was on page 6. So I'm going to go back to my worksheet and say I saw a heading on page 6. Instead of drawing it, I think I might also just include what that heading was. It said fish or mammal with a question mark. Now we need to think, why would the author put this heading in their book? Remember, headings kind of let you know what you're about to read about. So I think the author added this heading so the reader would know what the section of the book is going to be about. So before we even read that page, I could have known the author was going to talk about whether dolphins were fish or mammals. All right, let's see if we can find one more text feature.
A dolphin's life. A baby dolphin is called a calf. A baby dolphin has a small mouth. The calf smacks food against the water to break it into bite-sized bits. A calf can swim as soon as it is born. It drinks milk from its mother's body. When the little dolphin is about 6 months old, it starts to eat fish. Water words. Calf. A young dolphin.
Something to watch out for in these National Geographic books is that they kind of include glossaries on the pages. I know this is kind of like a glossary because it's telling me what a calf is. So this is kind of like a glossary because it defines the words for me.
Dolphins live in small groups called pods. Some pods join together to form schools. A dolphin school may have more than 1,000 animals. Dolphins use squeaks, squeals, and whistles to talk to each other. Some dolphins in a pod are in charge of watching for sharks and other predators.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to the end of this book because my video limit is 15 minutes with this recording software that I'm using, and I wanted to point out a special text feature at the back of a book, or at the back of this book. Right here, we can see that these words are organized in ABC order, and the author is telling me what each of these words mean. So this text feature is a glossary. Now I'm not sure what page it's on because the page number is missing, so if I look at the previous page, it says 31, so this glossary must be on page 32. Like I said, I'm kind of running out of time with this video, so I'm not going to take the time to type that in there. I did want to quickly show you guys, I'm also going to add to our Padlet a couple other things that you can work on with text features. If you see this on Padlet and you open it up, it will have the posters that I was showing you guys, and it will also have a few worksheets for you to complete. Another optional activity would be this cut and glue worksheet where you can cut out pictures of different text features. There we go. And then match them to their name. All right, that's all, second graders. See you next time.